Okay, welcome everyone. We've got Dr. Michael Netzley here, founder of Extend My Runway and Thrive After 45. Yeah. And so today we're talking about brain health, right?
Yes.
We're here to understand what brain health really means to us as we go to our 40s and 50s and how we can strengthen our brain health for performance. Zann, what's the first question?
Actually, if you haven't listened to our first episode, right, listen to that first. This is a continuation of it. Yeah. So in the first episode, we talked about the Trinity. We talk about sleep. We talk a little bit about nutrition, and then we talk about exercise. One thing we didn't get to talk about is nutrition, because Sandeep, our producer, had a question, right? Does ginkgo nuts, almonds,
Turmeric.
Yeah, turmeric really supports brain health? Should we take this supplement, so to speak? What should we take care of in our nutrition?
Okay. Can I step back very quickly, lead us into that? And what is brain health?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not a term that we use every day.
Yeah.
And brain health is kind of this umbrella concept about the overall healthy function of your brain. Does your brain perform its functions well? Now, within that, mental health would be a subset. So mental health is just a small portion of your overall brain health. But cognitively, are you thinking? Are you reasoning? Are you remembering? Are you able to push out distractions? Are you able to refrain from taking harmful behaviors? And just, again, just the overall health and longevity of the brain. Now, within that, the brain health trinity is really the foundation, the starting point of brain health. So we talked about sleep, nutrition. Again, your brain is a stunning energy hog.
Yeah.
And so you've got to provide enough nutrients for what we call mitochondrial health. Okay, so stop.
Okay, mitochondrial health.
Remember secondary school science here. Right. So in every cell, you have little engines, little energy producers.
Okay.
And your brain cells have these energy producers as well.
Okay.
In fact, they have thousands of these per brain cell, more than double what you have in a heart cell.
Okay.
So that should tell you how important the brain is.
Okay.
You've got to provide enough energy to the brain to support mitochondrial health so that the mitochondria produce the energy for you to think, for you to remember, for the neuroplasticity and the brain change to happen, all of these good things. And if you don't provide enough energy, the brain just simply won't function as well as you need it to.
Wow, fascinating.
Okay.
How do we provide that energy?
Yeah.
Better food. Now, again, things like cardiovascular health will help ensure that you have better blood flow to the brain.
When we exercise
here, yeah. So it'll carry the nutrients. Yeah. But when you eat low-quality processed food, so those Dorito chips we love, Walter
pantry,
Machine,
and our office pantry,
McDonald's, all the processed and packaged foods that we get at far too many restaurants, this stuff is of low nutritional value, and you get an energy spike and an energy drop.
Okay.
Okay. In other words, there's not enough nutrients to fuel you through the entire day. So eating whole foods, eating more vegetables, eating more grains, eating more protein, the things that will fuel you all day long, that's essential.
So in terms of Sandeep's question, ginkgo nuts, almond, his mother's been peddling a lot of all these
Turmeric,
things.
yeah.
Turmeric. What are your thoughts?
Okay, we vastly overestimate the value of so many of these things.
Okay.
And now turmeric, my understanding is that it has shown to have some value, particularly in terms of anti-inflammatory properties. But there are just so many things out there that are recommended that literally have zero quality science behind them. You know, saw palmetto for men, zero value, just zero. Resveratrol, which comes from wine, but zero value. to this. And so we could just go down through this long list of supplements that are best-selling, influencers are promoting them, literally have zero value to your brain health.
So for somebody who has not invested intentionally, right, deliberately about strengthening brain health, from a nutrition point of view, what do you recommend we do maybe at breakfast time, at lunch, at dinner? Are there other things that we should be focusing on consuming to strengthen the brain health through nutrition?
Yeah. Let me add one piece to that. Step number one, go to a longevity clinic and get a personalized physical to identify what are your nutritional needs.
Did you do that?
So, yeah. And there's several of them in Singapore now.
Longevity clinic to understand your unique nutritional needs. Okay, that's the first. Tell me.
Yeah, so Chi Longevity, for example, in Singapore is one, but there are several others. There are several others.
Sponsor the podcast.
So, yeah, there you go. So you get a very simple example would be we know creatine is safe.
Yeah.
It has a lot of benefits, including brain
That's
health.
protein, right? Creatine is protein. Yeah.
Some people already have very high creatine levels and don't need a supplement. So unless you go get that testing, you don't know what you need to take or what to take. You don't know whether a keto diet is good for you or bad for you.
So it depends on your original predisposition for certain levels and receptors to different other nutrition. Okay.
So go get your test. Number two, very simple, more protein and whole grains at breakfast that are going to get you through the day. I know we may love your keto.
Kaya toast. Nope. And the from Yakun. Tak boleh.
Sorry.
So what do we eat?
The eggs.
You made the protein.
You need
The
the
eggs. Okay. So you got to get the set. And you can't get it without the set. You need the protein.
Oh,
But isn't literally one egg enough?
well, I'll literally eat a chicken breast for breakfast.
Wow.
And so I'll get that protein along with maybe one egg, whole grain bread, and that I dip it in olive oil and a big glass of orange juice or something.
The Italians are onto something, right? The breads and the olive oil every meal.
Yeah. Lunch, what I find is that with lunch, we got to be careful about the carbs because 2 o'clock becomes really problematic. Let's see. So salads and fruits. And this might shock you. I don't eat dinner most days because the benefits of intermittent fasting for health, longevity, and brain health are really very, very strong. So I do a 17-hour fast every day.
Okay. So you eat 24 minus 7. You eat for 7 hours a day.
I eat for 7 hours a day.
What happens during intermittent fasting that's good for our brain?
So what happens is a simple process of protein repair, but you're also washing out the let's call it the pollution. When the energy burns, the toxins are going to be removed, but the body resets during that fasting period. Yeah,
The body resets. So what is it resetting? What is it bringing you? Why does the fast help? What's important for?
What I try and get to is where usually it happens after 16 hours, where the protein folding, the protein repairs happen. So the body is literally repairing itself at that point of time.
Where did you learn this? Like, what's the science behind this fast?
Okay, I you didn't ask me to bring the science, but yes, I've got it on my laptop.
Okay.
So two things on the science. Number one, I'm very conservative.
Yeah.
So the mere fact that it appeared in a journal has zero value.
Sure.
You always look at the research method and did they control for variables? Did they attempt to disprove their thesis? And if they have not attempted to disprove it, I don't count it.
Okay.
Number two, if you want an expert who thinks down this path, look at the book called Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia.
Oh, I heard about it. Yes.
Yes. He's equally conservative and demanding on research methods.
Good. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And basically, based on your research, all paths demonstrate lots of value in the fast.
The fast is a very healthy thing to do. So I do it 6 days a week.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm going to the Chi Longevity Clinic immediately.
Okay.
I'm going to book an appointment.
Make sure they ask them to sponsor this as well. While you're there.
Exactly. The other thing, Dr. Mike, that we were thinking about, right? We have the Trinity. There's also something I was thinking when I watched the Blue Zone on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They talk a lot
Social
about the social connections. Yeah. How important is social connections for our brain health?
Yeah.
Incredibly important. So we're going into my list of what I would rank as 4 and 5. Okay, so brain health trinity 1, 2, 3. 4 is going to be social connection. We are built to be social creatures, and research is showing that social interaction is a top driver of something called cognitive reserve.
Okay.
Okay.
This is fascinating.
We ready for this one?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. In business, redundancy is bad, right? We want to cut out redundancy, reduce the cost.
Mm.
In your brain, redundancy is good because when the brain starts to decline, or if you were to get a brain injury, or if you were to have something such as Alzheimer's, the brain, through neuroplasticity, needs to rewire around the damaged portion of the brain. That's easier when there are more neural pathways available.
Okay.
That's cognitive reserve.
Okay.
You've built multiple pathways to do the same task.
And what you're saying is social connections
Helps with
create these pathways?
Social connection and novelty. Absolutely. Yes.
So doing new things, meeting new people, having different conversations with different people from different walks of life. Is that what you mean?
Intentionally seeking out novelty. Here's my favorite example. Let's say that somebody said to me, Michael, I want to learn tango dancing.
Okay, yeah, that's novelty. Yeah.
All right, so we could go 3 bus stops up the road, go to a dance studio and learn tango.
Wow.
Or I could say, well, hey, I used to live and work in Argentina. Why don't we fly to Buenos Aires, learn from the Argentines, and hang out in Mendoza for the weekend tasting some wine?
Okay,
That's novelty.
well, I thought tango was novelty, but tango in Argentina is like 3 levels up of novelty. But your point here is that, okay, it's novelty. So then, is it novelty or is it social connection?
It's both. It's both. Yeah. Social connection is because look at how different the 4 of us in this room right now.
Yeah.
There's so much novelty that could be available, but you've got to engage with other people to experience.
Okay, so I have a best friend. Maybe Sandeep is my best friend, right? We have social connection, but it's not novel. I see him every day. We hang out. We have tea. We talk about our lives.
And it's maybe the same. They have known each other for like 15 years.
It's the same thing, but we enjoy our company. Is that going to help my brain health? But there's zero novelty there.
So yes, it would. But what would be better is, Sandeep, why don't we go join this networking event over here, hanging out with all these people from Europe who we've never met before?
Or like our spouses, right? We see them every day.
Yeah.
So are you saying that, okay, there's 2 factors at play. One is novelty that will strengthen it. My question is, take away novelty. There's no such thing as novelty, right? Forget that. If I just say social connection, how important is deep social relationships? Does that matter to brain health?
It matters tremendously. And even if it is somebody who is your spouse or Sandeep, who you've known for years,
Sandeep,
there's this little thing.
let's just be clear.
There's this little thing called curiosity. And there are probably things you haven't talked about with Sandeep before or talked about in years that you could revisit. And that's going to add a freshness to that connection that maybe you're not feeling day to day.
Okay, so in addition to nutrition, sleep, and exercise, there is this thing called social connection. There's this thing called novelty.
Yeah.
Other factors in your mind that contribute.
Sorry, Jess, before we go into other factors, I'm really curious. My dad is a little bit of a hermit. He's like introverted.
So no novelty there.
No novelty.
On
He
it.
really enjoys his time with himself, and reading newspapers, watching TV. So on the flip side, what happens to your brain health if you happen to be born like an introverted person, right? You don't really get much energy going out. And I know a lot of
I think there are a lot of
Yeah.
introverts who do seek novelty. I think it's a little bit, there's a
he does.
But I get what you mean.
I wonder what, on the flip side, what happens to your brain if you're doing the same old daily
Yep.
There's risk of what I call plateau.
plateau?
Okay. Now, I don't know your dad's situation, and maybe there is novelty and online connections or something. There very well could be. But when we fall into that routine, we can plateau. meaning that we're not doing things that counterbalance the natural cognitive decline that we're going through. We're not strengthening brain health. We're not strengthening cognitive reserve. That's the risk. Now, of course, you need to look at that responsibly one-on-one, but that's the risk, is that you're just going to allow that cognitive decline to accelerate.
Because you said in the last episode, we have those two, there's cognitive decline after, 30s and 40s. There's the time around 44, 45, 60. And our job is to compensate for that by doing investments in brain health. So routine means it's routine. It's not compensating. So we will just follow the natural trajectory of decline by sticking to routine. However, if we pursue novelty, social connection, sleep, exercise, nutrition, we can compensate. And can our compensation ever outpace the decline?
Temporarily. There's fascinating research from the Center for Brain Health at the University of Texas, Dallas, where measuring particular cognitive performances, so for example, innovative thinking, they literally hit the pause button on cognitive decline related to that task. And in, I think it was about 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 3, they actually reversed it temporarily, meaning measured in years.
Yeah.
They reversed it so that the brain functionally performed as a younger person.
Wow, amazing. So if we took like a magnifying glass to look at our brain to what's happening whenever I step out to meet new people and do novel things, is it more like, okay, hey, I'm not familiar with this. There's a slight discomfort. Let me rewire my brain. Like, how does it work?
Yeah, your brain has to work, right? To sort out this novelty.
Audiences, a lot of them, they just go to work, right? They don't have time to pursue. I want to encourage them. Yeah, I want to encourage them to try this out.
I need to encourage myself first. Yeah.
Make time for your brain health now, or make time for treatment and expenses later. It's your choice.
I guess you're right? So we talk about, okay, so of course we can make time for nutrition. I think we can all do a few tweaks to get the right proteins, the right diet. We can make time for sleep if we sort our, blue light and handphones and put them away and get our good 8 hours. We can have time for exercise. But I guess as families, many of us, we feel we're too busy, Saturdays, kids have classes. We got to go to the church or the temple. I mean, that routine is there. Maybe then, instead of just doing the same playground every Saturday night, try a different playground. That's novelty. Or instead of doing the same cafe as a family for dinner or breakfast, try a new thing. So, I mean, I know it's as busy parents and living in the middle, novelty is efficient. Yeah. But we can still enjoy the same efficiencies, but just with some different...
routine is efficient, right? We are creatures of habits.
No, novelties, routine is efficient, but we can make subtle tweaks like new playgrounds, different cinema, different restaurant, different meal, but in the same schedule.
Now that we know it leads us to healthier neuroplasticity, we definitely spend more time and be intentional about it.
Yeah.
The last question I have for you, Dr. Mike, we talk about behaviors, right? We're going back to that. I realize that as I grow older, I don't know about you, Jess, right?
I'm not growing older, just you. Great.
Thank you. That's great. Be on the lurch like that. Just ignore him. Okay, so as I grow older, I find like I have even more fears, or my thought processes, I have more to lose sometimes, and it sometimes prevents me from trying out new things. I have to be even more courageous to silence that fear and things like that. So when you talk about behaviors, I wonder what's your take on people who might, fear doing new things, or how would you encourage them to go forth, and try out new behaviors? 3
real simple answers to that. 1, intentionally pursue curiosity. Number 1. Number 2, run experiments in your own life, and make this a game that you play with yourself. So I experiment with my sleep patterns, and does my sleep improve? Or I experiment with a very few but supplements. Does my running performance change? So run experiments. Number 3, make it easy. There's a great professor at Stanford, a book called Tiny Habits. You break the change down to the smallest possible unit. So you can do the behavioral changes in 5 minutes a day. You don't have to change your routine. So BJ Fogg is his name. Tiny Habits is the book. he's the guy that changed Facebook, and so we now have the addiction issues. His research changed that, but if you use it ethically, brilliant advice.
So the key is you don't have to start big. You can experiment with small things, tiny habits, and that might help you a long way. It might go a long way. Wow, it's so amazing. I don't know about you listeners, but Jasbir and I were just like in awe, and there's a lot of behaviors we need to shape. We'll get right into action. Thank you so much, Dr. Mike, for the second episode. We'll see you in the third one. Bye.